Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
Today we're talking about season 6, episode 5, titled You've Dug Your Own Grave, Now Lie in It. Air date September 29th, 2008, and the synopsis is:
Nathan thinks he's being invited to a job interview by manager Bobby Irons of the NBA until he hears it's for a coaching job. Haley finally grants Jamie a last chance to say Dan goodbye, but it's a dangerous setup by crazy man Carrie, which only Deb figures out. And an incompatible date and a promotional tour for his book forces Lucas to tell Lindsay who's about to marry Peyton. Yeah, so we start off with Carrie digging in the backyard of the house. She's keeping Dan at.
So I like how she was, I don't like how she was narrating, but because it could have been any of them. But like the whole talk of everything about like your wins, your losses, just everything, and basically what is it to live, and I liked that whole thing because One Tree Hill makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Other shows, I think that's why One Tree Hill is so meaningful, is because it does make you question things.
Mm-hmm.
Where other shows, it's look, they're at a party, they don't really have anything for meaning wise. It's just for laughs or whatever. It's not really meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
Where One Tree Hill does make you question things. It does make you have discussions, and it might change your mind about life and everything. So I think that's why a lot of people do love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a show to watch. It can change your life too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes you think.
Right. Yeah, so everyone's just narrating for themselves. Even Dan.
Oh my God, though, when she was all digging that dirt, oh my God, I was like, go away.
Mm-hmm. And then Lucas and Peyton are in the kitchen when Peyton tells Lucas that they have a date for their wedding.
Oh, wasn't she digging? What was she wearing when she was digging?
I don't even remember.
Me either. It wasn't that white outfit, is it?
I don't know.
Because I'm like, that'd get dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Which she wasn't, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lucas thinks that's a bit quick with getting a date.
That's weird. He wanted to get married to her that night when he said, marry me.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden it's been how long? Maybe a month, because, Q died. It's probably been a month. And he looks at, I don't know, do you think it's been over a month since him and Peyton have been home?
I don't know. And
the fact that he is like, oh, that's so soon.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? When were you planning on marrying her? In 10 years from now? So, because we know that they get married at the end of the season, so it's going to be months from now. But it's like, what do you mean it's too soon? What? How is that too soon?
Well, I guess because he's nervous about seeing Lindsay and telling her, so apparently he thinks that's too soon to tell Lindsay that they're getting married.
That they're getting married months from now?
Mm-hmm.
When you wanted to marry her since you were 12? It doesn't really make any sense, Lucas.
I guess he doesn't want to hurt Lindsay's feelings.
Oh my God, who cares about Lindsay?
Moved on so quickly.
Who cares about Lindsay?
He does, apparently.
But all of a sudden he cares about Lindsay? Wait a minute. This whole time when he was in a relationship with Lindsay, he didn't care about Lindsay's feelings. Now all of a sudden he cares about Lindsay's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
He only cared when she left.
Mm-hmm.
But while she was in this relationship, he had Peyton around, so he was good. So I don't understand why he cares now.
Right.
It makes no sense. Just tell her and get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say it was all cute, though, because, I love these two. it was all cute when they were in the bed, and then when she she was making breakfast or something, or coffee or something, and then he comes up behind it. It was just all so cute because like we've seen, especially like last season, them fight so much that to see them happy and loving is, it's like one of my favorite parts of the show.
Right.
And also because they're together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know too, throughout this season, they're not going to split. So to me, it's just like we're finally in the era of, oh my God, like no breakup.
Right.
Like this is going to be solid till they leave. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and actually in season 6, Nathan and Haley are the same way. Season 6. I think that's why I like season 6 so much is my 2 favorite couples are happy, in love, and Brooke meets Julian in season 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I love season 6 so much.
Right, yeah, because everybody finally gets that person for them.
Yeah, and like Brooke doesn't know it yet, but that's the one she's gonna be with, but we all know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel, and I think too, once we meet Jillian and we see him with Brooke, it's like, okay, it clicks, like those two belong together.
Mm-hmm.
So you hope things don't happen, even though, of course they do. But yeah, I just think too, everyone is kind of in their happy era in season 6, especially coming from season 5. So I think that's why season 6 I love so much. What about you?
Yeah, that's what I like about this season too.
Yeah.
So then Peyton goes over to close up with Rose to tell Brooke basically she wants her to make her a dress.
Oh my God, Brooke. Like, okay, here's the thing. You don't tell people what's going on in your life. You can't be mad when they come in happy. Like, if you're not disclosing what happened to you about your attack, you're not saying what happened to you with Victoria. If you're not saying this to people, you can't get mad when they come in all happy. And I feel like that's what she's doing. She's like, and it's like, Peyton's happy. Like, either smile and act happy for her or tell her the truth of what's going on in your life. But like, don't get mad at her for something Victoria did. Like, don't take it out on her because Peyton doesn't know what the heck you're talking about. Like, okay, that was my thing. If Peyton knew, obviously she would not come in like that. She would, would not care, not tell her what's good about her life, obviously. And she'd be there for Brooke. So I just don't like it. Like, if Peyton knew and then she came in like, look at me, then I'd have a problem. But like, she doesn't know. So let her just be happy. Also, like, this is like, we're finally seeing Peyton happy. So let's let her be happy. And Brooke either tell her or just smile. But she's not. She doesn't do it till like the end.
Right. Yeah, because Brooke made that comment about if she wants the Lindsay Tearaway train.
Yeah, like seriously? Like, again, like, let's pull away from Lindsay.
Yeah, so Payne describes what she wants.
Yeah, and then did she say like, oh, slutty or something? And it's like, what?
Yeah, skanky, yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, Brooke. Like, oh my God. Like, that's what I also didn't like either. I'm like, come on now. Like, again, you're upset, but like, again, either tell her or don't. Like, it was just annoying. Yeah, and then finally she goes, because like Peyton's like she starts like kind of figure out like, she's obviously there's something going on. And she's like, I'm happy that you're happy. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I did like though when Peyton's like, what is going on? Like with Victoria, because she did say it had to do with Victoria, not Peyton. But then of course she doesn't tell her. Like, not really what's going on.
Right. So then Payne tells Brooke that she has a music legend in her studio right now, but Brooke doesn't know who he is.
That was funny.
Yeah. So Payne explains that he knew Ellie, and it's like a window into a world she never got to see.
Did you know who that was, though?
No, isn't this just a fictional character?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I thought the name was like playing off like Mick Jagger or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm with Brooke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So Peyton says that she can't imagine what it's like to finally find out who her mother is, when she was young. And that's when they talk about Victoria, and Brooke says it's not important. And, just she's fine, giving us some answer she gave Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
And that they'll, get start working on the dress. And then at the house, Nathan gets a call asking if he can be somewhere today. And then we know later there's a miscommunication, but he tells Haley that Jamie that it was the general manager of Fort Wayne League team.
That was funny. It was
Mhm.
funny because Haley's like, what? Like who? And it was funny because like Jamie's like, the D League Mama basketball is funny.
Yeah. And of course they think that this means he's gonna play again, so they're all happy for him.
But isn't it weird that like a 5-year-old knows what that is? Like,
I mean, I'm sure Nathan's been teaching him a lot, showing him a lot, like basically probably what Dan did with him when he was a kid, but in like a nicer way. And then Carrie finally finishes digging the grave for Dan, saying today is the day he dies, and she gets her Jamie back.
ugh.
And then Sam walks into clothes of her bros to return the clothes Brooke gave her. But Brooke says that they're gifts, and she even has allowed enough to come back into the store after stealing from her.
I will say that is like, okay, so she steals them, but then Brooke gives her some, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then now she wants to return them. And I mean, I'm with Brooke. How do you come in and want a refund? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. Also, do you know what I was also thinking too? Like, think if Brooke had another staff member, because we know she doesn't. But like, think if she did. Like, think if Millie was still there and she was in the store and Sam came in. Like, Sam does not have a receipt. Like, how could she return the items if she doesn't have a receipt? It would be like, what? Like, I don't see that you bought them here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously there are clothes, but you don't have a receipt. And so like, that was my thing, was she's lucky it was Brooke because Brooke knows the story. But like, if it was anyone else, they would be like, well, we're not giving you money back because you don't have a receipt.
Right.
Like, I could see that altercation going down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with Brooke and like, you can't do, like, who goes in to like steal and then, oh, I want these in return. Like, she already gave you the free clothes and then now you want money for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who does that?
Right.
Like, I know that that's to live off of, but like, it's just rude. Like, a normal person just doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then of course that's when those guys come in to take all the inventory because Victoria wants them.
Right.
And Brooke's like, what? And then that's when she's like, well, I guess it's, your lucky day. Victoria, the new owner, will be happy to give you a refund. I was like,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm actually surprised that Victoria even could do that because Brooke fired her. So how could she go in and hire these guys to come in and take the inventory when Victoria was fired?
Well, remember last episode, Brooke signed everything over to her?
Oh, so she did?
Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that Brooke was surprised that they were taking all the clothes.
Well, yeah, because if it's not yours, then of course it's going to, especially because Victoria never wanted to be in Tree Hill ever again. So yeah, of course she'll take them.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is like Victoria will have to hire a designer, and they won't really be Clothes Over Bros because it's that designer's clothes. So it's obviously going to be like a different taste than what Clothes Over Bros have been because it's always been Brooke's vision. And all Brooke has to do is make her do what she did in season 3 and make her own. Because again, they've always been her designs. It's not like Victoria's taking her designing away. Like Brooke can very easily design new clothes
Right.
and have them under maybe like her name or something, where Victoria has to now hire someone to try to make it look like clothes over bros clothes. And that's a little harder to do.
Mm-hmm.
Where Brooke has it. Like those are hers.
Right.
So I will say for Brooke, it's a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
And really that's all she has to do. It's not like she lost the company, but she didn't lose her ability to design.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was not the backbone of like the business. Like Victoria, like if somebody else comes in and takes clothes over bros from Victoria, she's left with nothing because she couldn't design. So she doesn't have that ability
Mm-hmm.
where Brooke does.
Yeah.
And also if Brooke went to a different, like an actual company and designed for them, she could easily do that because she has that ability where Victoria doesn't. So
Mm-hmm.
Victoria in all of this is actually the one that gets screwed the most,
Right.
in my mind, because
Mm-hmm.
Brooke has, the ideas and everything behind it, where Victoria just doesn't have that.
Yeah. So back in the studio, Mick and Peyton are there, and he's talking about how his guitar is in a lot. So Peyton asks if it was around when her dad fell in love with Ellie, and he says it was. And Payne asks if it was like love at first sight. And he says pretty much the men on tour, and he doesn't remember which one it was, but he remembers that her dad fell for her instantly.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This was a little for me. Because we only heard bits and pieces last episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're hearing bits and pieces. Like again, no real story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I knew your dad. I can't tell you any information. Like again, like we just know this last episode. Like, couldn't he just be like a one episode wonder? Like my feeling is it's dragging the same story for what? Like if he's not giving much information, what are we seeing on the screen for? I don't understand this. Like, couldn't all this be in one episode? Because he's really giving no information.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird how like he's still here. He's supposedly this huge artist or whatever, and he's at Peyton's label to record. Like, there's obviously other studios because remember Chris and Haley were in one.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird how he's at Peyton's and we're not real. Like, he's not giving too much deep. Like this could have all been happening last episode. I just thought it was too drawn out for me. Like too many scenes of nothing.
Well, that's why he's there, is because of Peyton, because he knows that that's his daughter, and he wants to get to know her without actually her knowing who he is.
I know, but there was really there was nothing really of him asking her questions. And there was nothing. Remember, at least Ellie was trying to know information about her. He's not asking any information. All she's doing is asking him questions, and he's not really answering her questions. Like Ellie, it's like, oh my God, this again? Like another episode of this.
Well, he never thought he would be a good father to her, so that's why he's not asking questions to make sure she doesn't suspect anything, and he doesn't actually want a relationship with her.
Okay, then why is he here?
He just like wants to see how she's doing.
Okay, well, he saw last episode how she's doing. Like, get him off the screen now.
And plus, Lucas was out of town. Like, Payne doesn't have anything else to do, so this is what the writers came up with. So she has something to do.
I know. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like we could like have video calls with Mia or anything. Like, I don't know. There's just or her again trying to find a new artist because she has no one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how's she getting paid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there could have been other things for her to do, not this. Or maybe last episode he may have spilled that he was the father, so then she went to go find him this episode. Remember, like when she would try to go find Ellie, it was like, I don't know, maybe that, not this.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could have been the same thing of her still questioning if he's the father, but he leaves and she goes to find him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe talks to some strangers along the way that give glimpse of him. Like, I don't know, just something besides the same old give us nothing. Like, I just didn't like that part.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan shows up for the meeting and he's shown around the gym, and he really likes how it looks because it's huge. And then Jamie comes into the kitchen to tell Haley that there's someone on the phone for her, and apparently it's Dan's hospice nurse.
Saying that he's dying, and that Haley should bring Jamie to come see him because he's, going to be gone soon.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then we see that it's actually Carrie on the phone doing a British accent. And of course, she has to mention Haley's charming son and about meeting him. She's looking forward to it.
Yeah, that would be a little creepy to me. I'd be like, why do you keep asking about my son?
Mm-hmm. And Dan's mouth is now duct taped. So Carrie tells him, looks like her psyche plan is going to be a success. And she rips the tape off and asks what does he want for his last meal. And then Deb walks into the kitchen and she asks Haley if she's okay. So then Haley explains what's going on. Like Nathan was right, Dan's going off to die because the hospice nurse called. And should be only hours now, so she thinks she should take Jamie to say goodbye. And of course, Deb doesn't feel bad about Dan.
It was funny because like Haley's like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh, it's good. It was funny. I mean, does she really have any love for him anymore?
No.
I mean, he tried to kill her. She's tried to kill him. I mean, they haven't exactly had a loving relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Not one that you'll miss.
Right. Yeah, so Deb asks if Haley's sure, about having Jamie see him like that. And Haley said after everything was put in and St. Dan's gravestone, she promised him that he could see his grandfather and say goodbye. And she just wishes Nathan was there to help her, decide what's the best option.
I will say it was kind of sad though for like Jamie because like he's just losing everybody all of a sudden at once.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though we know Dan doesn't die, but like, just right now, yeah, it's like in his like little mind, it's like, wow, everyone's leaving.
Mm-hmm. So that's when we segue to Lucas showing up in Lindsay's office. She asks if he's ready for today, and he says he needs to talk to her about something important. And he probably should have told her a long time ago. But Lindsay
but he doesn't say what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lindsay says she doesn't want this to be awkward for either of them. They have to work together. So they shouldn't do the heavy emotional thing. So she kind of shut it down. That's why he didn't say anything. But yeah.
But he still very well should have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is now just going to be awkward because you want to tell her, but you're not going to say anything. Like, let's keep this going, this whole charade thing of you not telling her, and then you're going to have to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I really don't know why it needs to be mentioned.
Yeah, so she also surprises him with a hard copy of his book, the first one, titled The Comet.
Well, it's not the first one.
No, I mean the first hard copy of that book.
Yeah.
That was printed, yeah.
And he's like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it was nice to see
a
finished book.
Yeah. And then back at the label, Mick and Peyton kind of bond over albums and the ones that don't live without and they make lists. And then another session of Brooke's therapy. She says she's, mentions basically Sam shoplifting the other day. I don't know what she said the other day because it's been a while since that even happened, but it was hard on her. And the therapist asked if she felt threatened by the girl. Brooke says no, she felt jealous.
I thought was weird about the therapist was like at one point she just like sat there and like just was like staring at Brooke, and I was like, is that what they do in therapy? They just sit there and smile at you, like not saying a word. I was like, this is a little weird.
Well, not if they're good.
She just went there and like smiling at her, and then it was like cue speak, and then it was like it was weird. I was like, that's just weird. She's just sitting there smiling at Brooke. It's not like she's writing anything down to ask her anything. It was just she was like sitting there just smiling at her, and I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, sometimes they write things down. Sometimes they just keep a mental note to write down later afterward.
But do they sit there and smile at you?
Depending if you're talking about something good, maybe. But
well, Brooke wasn't saying a word. Either was a therapist.
Well, Brooke says that she realized she let the company matter too much to her, and she built something up and then couldn't enjoy it. And basically she's just saying what she has really come to the conclusion, and just being afraid that someone's going to take something good away from us. That's why we can't enjoy it. And then there's this girl, and she didn't answer to anyone, and that's what made her jealous.
Yeah. And then she said that, like, about the company, like, she doesn't have to worry anymore. And then the therapist was like, why is that? And she said, I signed the company over to Victoria.
Mhm.
And then she asked her, do you regret it? And what was her answer with that?
Well, we didn't see the answer because we go back to
Yeah.
Nathan. Yeah.
I do think Brooke does regret it, though.
Mhm.
Obviously, that's why she's really talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we go back to Nathan watching the players in the court, and the guy's asking if Nathan likes what he sees, and he says it is, and how the offer came out of nowhere, but he's grateful. And then the guy says he's had his eye on him for a while, watched him win those 2 championships, and then saw him play here and there, but he's more interested in the future, Nathan says.
Yeah, and then he said, that's good to hear. You'd be a really good young coach.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what? You want me to coach? And then he said, like, Nathan, your playing days are over. He's like, you must know that. No, Nathan don't know that.
Right.
Again, because in Tree Hill, they've told him, oh, you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you probably will never be healed 100%, but yeah, you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so then Payne and Mick end up showing them, each other's lists, and they end up listing the same album as their number 1.
I will say, though, like, Nathan's reaction, don't you think that they would be, like, pulling back a little? Like, do we really want him? Like, he seemed pretty upset that we are hiring him as a coach. Like, it's 10 levels down for Nathan. Like, you should want somebody that's like, I want to be a coach, and, this is my passion and all of this. And I want to help, the young players or, but the fact that he's just like a coach, like, I'm too good for that. I mean, I was like, Nathan, in job interviews, they would be like, you're not right for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the fact that you don't seem to care to be a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the job. Like, again, if you went for a job interview, I feel like they wouldn't hire you because they would want somebody that wants the job.
Right. Yeah, I guess the guy was just really having his eye on Nathan, like you said, and doesn't really want anybody else. So that's why he actually keeps talking to Nathan about it.
Also, don't you think, like, in a job and like, okay, don't you think too, like, Nathan has, again, the high up in this, because, like, Nathan didn't have to search for a job. Nathan was offered this without trying to find one. It's not, what am I going to do? Because I don't work. And like, what's my next passion? It's, no, I got called to be a coach. Like, how many people don't get that? And they have to, like, search for it and, like, work for it. But not to Nathan.
Right.
It's like they're not calling Lucas or Skills up. They're calling Nathan, like Nathan who doesn't coach. Yeah, he'd be a really good coach. Like,
right.
Like, again, it would be one thing if he was coaching the Ravens, and it would be like, oh, that's awesome. Like, he's a really good coach. No, they're not doing that at all.
Right. Yeah, so it was nice to see Peyton and Mick bond over music, because that's what she did with Ellie too. So she's learning that she has the same music taste now as both of her parents. So,
well, I think that's what was on her mind was like, he really is my dad. Look at that. Like, in her mind, just the whole episode.
And then Peyton asks Mick, why does he think that after all this time her dad hasn't reached out to her? And he says he can't answer that, at least not in a way that's going to make her happy. So at this point, Peyton already knows that that's her father, or otherwise she wouldn't, expect an answer to this question. Like, why did her parents give her up? Like, how would a friend of, her parents actually know that?
Yeah, and he says, well, I mean they. And I'm like, there's the slip up. And then, of course, now she's like, I clocked it. I'm on to you. I was always on to you, but now I know the answer. And here's the thing, like, having a situation like that where you're trying to, investigate something like that, and you know that you finally get the answer. You've been piecing it together. You know the answer now. for Peyton, since she knows, she can walk away. Like, there's no bad blood. I can walk away from the situation knowing my answer, because that was always her thing, was she just wanted to know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really that she wanted a relationship. She just wanted to know, first of all, just who he was. And once you get that answer, it's definitely freeing. And you're in it's not like your court now, because you had your answer.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, similar to that, like, I've done it. And just knowing, like, okay, because I remember when it was like happened to me, like, and I remember being like, I have my answer. This is the truth. I can now walk away from this,
Mm-hmm.
and you all can just deal with it. And disagree or agree, I don't really care, as long as I know the answer and I can live with that. That's all that matters. And I think for Peyton, that can be her mindset too, of like, whether he wants a relationship with me or not, whether he wants to truly confess, I'm your father, with those words or not. I think she can walk away knowing this is the truth and I'm good with this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think too, for him, it's also hard for him to like say, I'm your father, because you're just the biological father. Like, you're just the birth father. You're not the actual father. She has a father who
Mm-hmm.
raised her. So I think for him, it might be harder just to go out and say, I'm your father. Like Ellie said, I'm your mother, because those are words that, to be a mother means to be a mother. Ellie was not a mother. She was a birth mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she came out and said she was the birth mom, but for him, it might be harder to say, like, I'm your birth father.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the word father behind it means something, which he's not. He's just a stranger. So maybe for him, it's a little harder to say, because all she wants is, who's my dad? Well, again, being a father, being a dad is so much more than blood. That she has one of those, like, you know what I mean? Why couldn't she use the word biological? Because she has a father. Remember when she met Ellie, she told her dad, I don't need to know who my father is. You're my father. What happened to that, Peyton? Because like this one is like, who's my dad? Did you know my dad? Tell me about my dad. Oh, I don't know. You have a father. Like, I wish you would say biological, because it kind of hurts the actual parents of children when you say that.
Yeah, well, they didn't really use that term back then. It wasn't common to use it. And then also,
yeah, but this was like 2010. I was using it.
We're in 2008. Yeah, I never really heard it until like the 2010s. So, but
yeah, but even then, I was talking like family wise. Like, I knew the difference between biological birth. Like, I think it would have been something to talk about. Yeah, but Ellie was saying it. Remember, she said, "I'm your birth mother."
Yeah, well, with the mom is a little bit different, because it's actually the birth part of it.
But this is how many years later? Like 3-4 years later from Ellie. So I would think it would even be more known that many years later.
Maybe, yeah. But also with her wanting to know, like, he kind of showed up at her doorstep, so it was hard not to be curious who her dad is.
Again, like Ellie. Like Ellie stalking him now, or stalking her. Now he's stalking Peyton. Why do these people want to stalk her all the time?
Yeah, so it's not her. They're just always seeking her. So she never really even questioned who her parents were until they found her. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, but even for her own dad, she said, I don't need to know. And now she wants to know. And it's like, but again, it's your birth father. It's not the person who raised you. It's not like she would have been a totally different person if Ellie and him raised you.
Yeah, like I said, now that he's here, like she can't help not wonder and just like let him slip away because he'll probably never show up again. I mean, he doesn't show up again either, but either way, but it's just there. So it's kind of now or never for her to find out.
But didn't Ellie kind of paint who her father was by saying like she used to party all the time and wasn't really sober, and like obviously that does not make for a good relationship to raise a child in. I mean, and obviously Ellie never really had a stable home. So so to raise a child wouldn't really be okay. And didn't they kind of say like how old was Ellie? Because didn't they kind of say she was young?
I don't know.
And
Maybe
now she's with this guy. Like Ellie was with this guy, so she was with somebody a lot older than her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, but I guess if you're partying, maybe, I don't know.
Well, it could be the whole music scene too. But yeah. So Nick tells her that they were all messed up back then. So Ellie never planned for her, so it wouldn't work out. Yeah, they wouldn't have worked out.
I do agree with that. Of like, they really wouldn't be, good parents, kind of. And I agree because Ellie kind of said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then Payne brings up Nick saying, for dinner to meet Lucas when he gets back. And she basically wants to keep asking more questions about her parents to him. And he says careful what she wishes for. But he does say that he will be there. And then And then Haley calls Nathan to tell him about Dan, but she gets the voicemail, so she tells him, just call her back because it's about Dan. It's not good. And that's when Jamie walks up because he heard hospice. So he's asking what it is.
Yeah, and that Grandpa Dan's going to be okay. And she tells him that he's really sick and everything, and tells him kind of in a kid-friendly way of what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
it was sad though, because when he said, I didn't get to say goodbye to Quentin, he goes, do I get to say goodbye to Grandpa? And she went, yes, which I do think he should, because I mean, he's always going to be mad if he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it was good that she kind of went in to feel out the situation before she just let him in. Because you want to make sure that he is still okay and not just lying there, not like speechless, like where Dan was. He was obviously okay to make conversation. But I was happy that she felt it instead of just being like, come on with me. And then he walks into like a horror scene. But yeah, I mean, I do think to a point he should be able to see him.
And then back with Nathan, basically him and the guy going back and forth. Nathan still isn't, understanding that this is about a coaching job because he gets like defensive, saying he's been working on his game, he's been rehabbing, he's in shape so he can play, and just let him show him. But the guy says, he has respect for him wanting to play again, but he's looking for a coach right now. And he's always valued how smart a player Nathan was, and he knows that he's been coaching, so he tells Nathan this is where his future is.
Yeah, and then he said that was no small injury you suffered. Like, it was the lower back and everything, and guys don't, even think about coming back from it.
That's when Nathan gets Haley's voicemail, and the guy tells Nathan just to think about it. And he knows he'll do a great job. Meanwhile, Peyton calls Lucas. He asks her what's going on. She was going to tell him about Mick, but changes her mind and said she just wanted to hear his voice.
Yeah, but of course he can hear that something's wrong with her.
Which
is more than I can say that he's ever really thought about, like, Brooke or anything. Remember, he really couldn't tell if something was wrong.
Yeah, so she admits that Mick is her father. And Lucas asks if he actually said that, but Payne says no. But that's what tonight's about, for dinner, during dinner. And Lucas asks if she's sure that's her dad, and she says, yeah, but, because he slipped up earlier.
So I thought this was a little weird when she was like, when she told him, like, oh, Lucas, I hope he'll be back in time, when he's having like this whole meeting, like, it seems like an all day sort of thing. How's he going to come home like tonight early? Like, I was like, okay. Also, like, did he say like, I'll be home? Like, like, did I get a plane ticket there and back, like, or was it just a one way? And then he has to see when he's coming home. Like, those are different things.
Yeah, he just told her that he wishes he was there, so it did sound like maybe he wouldn't show up.
No, but when she told him, her father, earlier, she said, hopefully Lucas is back soon. Like, hopefully he's back in town when you come over. And I'm like, but did he have a ticket to come home that night?
I know.
Or was it like, again, only a one way and he has to find out when he's coming home?
Right, I don't know.
Like, again, those, I'm just saying they're totally different things. So maybe it was just her wishful thinking, I guess. Maybe for him to want to come over, maybe she felt like she had to say that, because like otherwise it'd be like this whole conversation again of just him and her again, where let's just make it like easier, and oh, my fiance will be home. So like maybe that's the way of, okay, maybe somebody else will be there so it won't be like awkward like this, even though it would be.
Yeah. So in the meeting, the guy tells Lucas they basically have everything planned out to be like, with the major ads and radio and all that, and even talk shows that we don't see at all. But Lucas, mentions about that there's something about a schedule. He can't do the Chicago date. And
and then and Lindsay's like, that's a big market and everything, and like that's money lost and everything, which wouldn't it be like, okay, because they just got the schedule, couldn't they move it? I mean, they're just planning out the schedule, so couldn't they? He's telling them way in advance. Like, I feel like that could be pushed. It's not like he's telling them a week before, like, hey, I can't do that.
Well, with them having the dates for every city, it sounds like they pretty much locked it all in, so it can't be moved at this point.
Well, shouldn't you talk to the person doing it?
Yeah.
Before you lock the dates in?
Yeah, they just did all this by the time, we got there. I guess they just wanted to move quick, yeah.
That was just stupid to me. I'm like, you're locking it in without actually talking to the person. Maybe they don't want to do this.
Yeah, so Lucas keeps fighting about the Chicago date, so Lindsay acts to see him in it, in her office.
Yeah, and then she's like, what is the, big deal about, like why you can't do it? And then he was like, my wedding? And he goes, it's Peyton. We're getting married. I was like, whoa. Yeah. And then of course, like she's kind of like getting mad at him for not telling her. And it's like, when was he supposed to tell you? Like, okay, here's my other thing is like, if he would have told her even a month ago, would she have picked up the phone?
Right, yeah.
Remember, because she said, like, everything's done. Like, we're good. Like, we don't really need to really talk anymore, like, because the book is done. So would she have answered if he had called? Probably not, because she was always dodging his calls. So that's what I didn't understand. I was like, when she walked away and said, this could have been done over the phone, like, I wish you would have. And it's like, but you would not have answered the phone, and I wish you would have said that. Also, what is the big deal about telling Lindsay? This is what I don't understand. If she made it a big deal of we're now in a working relationship, do you really need to tell your boss or business? Like, does this person really need to know personally why you can't do that day? Do you know what I mean? Like, business, like this is business wise. I don't think that, like, that's your personal life. All you got to say is, I cannot do that day. I am firm on that. Not, it's my wedding. Like, the other people would not care in the room. So I just don't feel like Lindsay needed to know. Like, and also, this is your ex. Your ex does not need to know that you're getting married. She'll find out maybe someday, but like, she's your ex. She doesn't need to know. And also, I mean, she ran out on your marriage. I mean, that was her deal, and she could have married him. But I'm like, you guys are in a business relationship. I don't feel like that is something personal. It's kind of like in a regular job. Do they need to know exactly why you're taking time off? Not really. If you're taking personal time off, you're taking personal time off. Like, they don't need to know why. Like that kind of thing. Like, I don't think she needed to know.
Well, they are working together. They did date for like 2 years at least, almost got married. And then it would be awkward if one day Peyton just showed up at a book signing and, has the ring, they have the rings on and they're kissing and everything. And that's just making Lindsay, caught off guard.
Okay, but this is a working relationship. She is now the boss. She doesn't need to know what's going on in her client's life personally. Like, write the next book. We'll do all the business. That's how she wanted it. So now to be like, you didn't tell me you're getting married. It's like, I don't feel like he needs to know, and you don't deserve, like, you don't need to know. You said this is a working business relationship. Okay, so let's call it what it is. That's what it is. You knowing if he's getting married or not, that's personal. You don't want a personal relationship with him. Just like if she was getting married, he doesn't need to know because it's not business. You only have to talk business. You don't talk about your personal relationships.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't want to make it awkward between them and their business and, eventually cross paths with his personal relationship with Peyton. So, and, these guys had the dates locked in, so he knew that he had to give an answer or else they weren't going to let him drop the Chicago date. So.
I just don't really think that she, not even really the other people, just her, like, it's not his personal, like, okay. And then, he tells her and she's getting mad. This is his personal life. You have no reason to have an opinion about Lucas's personal life because this has nothing to do with the book. It has nothing to do with your business relationship. Again, do you know what I mean? Like, you are just the boss. You are not his friend. It's one thing if they had that personal relationship. Like, we're friends. Why didn't you tell me you're getting married? You're not friends. You wanted this kind of relationship where they only talk about business. So let's keep it what it is. You said once the book was done, you were like wiping your hands clean with Lucas. Well, then this is what it is. Like, I don't get why she needs to know. I don't feel she needs to know that information. And why would you want to know if you're Lindsay? Like, that's just, like, stirring too much drama in the past. Like, why do you need to know? And why get so upset? You knew that they were perfect for each other. You were the third wheel. You knew that. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. Like, at least he married someone else.
Well, she didn't ask, like, are you dating Peyton now? He just kind of had to tell her because of the Chicago date. So she kind of walked into it without knowing.
Well, that's wrong with that.
Well, it was business, so she had to ask why he couldn't do that 24th. So.
I know, but I don't feel like she needed to get upset over it. As in, like, this is business. He was going to move on eventually. You should just be thankful it's Peyton and not some other girl that he is doing the same thing to. You know what I mean? Like, I hope you don't marry someone and do what you did to me, to them. At least be happy it's not someone else that's going to get their heart broken.
So Brooke's still in her therapy session when she asks the therapist if it was foolish of her to give her company to her mother. And the therapist asks Brooke, what does she think? Does she think it was foolish? And Brooke asks her if she always answers a question with another question.
But isn't that what they do?
Sometimes it depends.
Like, do they really give their honest opinion?
Yeah.
Oh, they do? Oh, so just not this one.
Right.
And also not the one on Dawson's Creek when it was Jen, remember? And she brought up the same thing. Why do you just keep asking me questions?
Yeah, so the therapist asks if it bothers her, and Brooke gives her a look, to say that it does. And then that's when the therapist says that it was never going to truly be her company as long as her mother was part of it. So Brooke explains how she felt after giving Victoria everything. She felt great. But now she feels kind of empty because everything she worked for is gone. She just has the store, but it's empty now too.
Yeah. And she said that she, feels like all of her friends are moving on. She's just like standing still. Like she feels like a failure in all this, which is, going to happen time to time. But I will say, like, the one thing, that they got the writing wrong on was when they said, or when the therapist said, you're 22. First of all, remember when Jamie was born, Brooke was 18.
Mm-hmm.
If Jamie's supposedly 5 and he's been supposedly 5 for a while, she would be 23.
Right.
I was like, that's funny. Like, why do we keep saying she's 22? Like, we're down to season 6. There are 23.
Mm-hmm.
At least, if not 24.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's keep saying she's 22.
Right. Yeah, so the therapist explains that Brooke now has the freedom to do something new, something else. Because when she was mentioning about her friends being happy, she defines that as relationships and family. So why is she so insistent on going through life alone? And yeah, so that's a big question for Brooke, but we don't see her answer because then we go back to Sam. She's looking at the restaurant that's revealed later to be the place where her birth mom works at. And then she keeps walking. And then Nathan is still in the gym, sitting in a seat, when the guy walks over to him, still letting him think it over. Nathan says he doesn't know, though. And the guy, explains that it's hard for all of them to stop playing. Doesn't mean he has to let go of basketball. So Nathan says he has to talk to his family about it. Because this is like far out of Tree Hill, right? I already forgot. Did they mention the place? No. Where is he? Is he even still in North Carolina?
I don't know. It might still be in North Carolina.
Because it sounds like that means they would have to move too for this job if he took it.
Well, even if it was in North Carolina and it's 2-3 hours away, they might still have to move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because that's a big commute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why when he said about talking to his family about it seemed like that was the case. So the guy says that he'll give him a few days and wait to hear back from him.
Well, I also think it's just a courtesy of a relationship. Like, I need to talk to my spouse about a new job. Like, it could be even regular people, us regular folks. Like, you talk to your significant other about your job. Like, is this a good thing to get into, to go to this job or change this or quit this? Like, you talk to your spouse about that because it financially is both of your responsibility. So, so I think it could just be easily that too, of he's talking to his family, his wife about a job, just like she probably talked to him about getting her job. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, so at home, Peyton is playing a record, and she has dinner all set and ready, and she's just waiting out for Mick.
What was weird was the candles.
What about them?
Candles are supposed to be like romantic setting. And you're meeting you're having a conversation with your father. Like, it's one thing if it was like, Lucas is coming home, I gotta do the candle. But I'm like, candles? Okay. Like, it's just you and him. It's a little awkward with candles there. It's not even like you really know the guy. So that was a little weird too. Also, how does he know where she lives? Because it's not like she wrote down her address and gave it to him.
Yeah, she could have told him when we didn't see it, or she could have texted it to him, so who knows. And then meanwhile, Lucas finds Lindsay at a bar and goes on to say that he would never meant to hurt her. Not then, not now. And as he says, she knows, and she saw it coming all along. She tried to wish it away, but it wasn't fair to her or him. And that Chicago will be fine. She'll make it okay. And he told her thank you. And then he has to go now with his flight, and Lindsay makes sure that he takes the first printed copy of his book with him. And she says the first time they met right there at the same bar, she told him she was pulling for the couple in the book, and then tells Lucas goodbye. And then Dan tells Carrie it's not too late to stop all the, stuff she's doing, but she's only getting a syringe ready to sedate him again. And she says, she can't. And she doesn't believe that Dan's asking for mercy like this. And she asks, where's the big scary guy from the motel who said that he was going to kill her?
I did like when he said, you touch one hair on Jamie's head and you'll get to meet him. I like that part.
Yeah. So he starts fighting to, loosen the restraints, but she holds his head and tells him, looks like somebody needs a little something to make sure that they're in their best behavior. So that's when
right in the neck.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's gross.
And then that's when Haley pulls up with Jamie, and Dan passes out for an sedative, and she tells Jamie to stay in the car. She'll be right back.
And it was so cute because he's like, I want to come with you because he's scared. And she's like,
Mhm.
stay in the car, keep the doors locked. She'll be back. And I like this. I think it was good parenting for her to assess the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Haley walks up to the house and calls out for Dan, and she already knows to whisper. I thought that didn't make sense. Like, how would
Well, no, I did because it was weird to pull up and you don't know what you're walking into. It's kind of like the beach house. She didn't know what she was walking into. And especially she gets this weird call. Even Deb told Haley, it doesn't sound like Dan. Like, remember when she told her that? So I think she's kind of putting the pieces together of like, I don't know what I'm about to go into. So, and especially given, again, that Deb said, doesn't sound like Dan. I think she was on high alert. So I probably would have done the same thing, even if you're walking into a regular hospice, situation. Like, it would be like, okay, we're good. But like, she's had these weird things. Remember, Dan isn't home. Where is he? What's going on with him? This isn't like him. I would be on high alert too of being cautious and whispering. I mean, she already told Jamie to stay in the car, so it's not too far off to now whisper. I'm happy that she whispered instead of, Dan, so good to see you. Like, that'd been weird. I was happy that she whispered.
Yeah.
Because it's always in those horror movies where they don't whisper and you're like, oh, why don't you shut up? Sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where like, obviously the person that talks is gonna die. So I was happy that she whispered.
Mm-hmm.
But then of course she's like, oh my God, she sees that he has the restraints on, so she's trying to, let him loose, and then that's when Carrie comes in and whacks her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just when he was coming to.
Yep. And then she goes outside to see Jamie.
Mm-hmm. And then Deb gets that hidden wine bottle in the cabinet up high and over the fridge or something. So she's supposed to be sober, and she said she was she was waiting to use that. But I thought like Nathan had thrown out all her liquor, and that was at the other house too, not even this one. So I was kind of surprised she was able to hide something at this new house.
Yeah, but she could have kept it in a safe. She could have kept it in a locked place in her room or wherever.
I guess, yeah.
She could have kept it somewhere hidden, locked with a key.
Yeah, I just was surprised she had it hidden at Nathan's house.
But I thought it was funny that she's got a bottle just so she could say goodbye, good riddance to Dan.
Yeah.
And then of course that's when my thing is, when she sees this picture of Carrie, why do they have a picture of Carrie? And it was obviously off that trip night. Like, why do they have a random picture of Carrie, first of all? And secondly, why do they have it after all this time?
I thought it was weird that they had it with Jamie's picture too in the drawer, but I think maybe they kept it if they needed to be like, they should be anyways, like have be on high alert in case if she comes back, so they have a picture to show people like what she looks like if they see her too. Maybe
it was just weird. Yeah, but if that's the drawer you're always using to see it all the time, it's a little weird to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, then she obviously remembers seeing her.
Yeah.
And I love how Deb clocked that one.
And then sees the address too on the whiteboard.
Yep, to go see. I will say she got there in a good amount of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then Dan is trying to wake up Haley to go, help Jamie. And that's when she goes to. Isn't that when Carrie finally goes out to see Jamie?
Yeah, seeing wise to put Jamie in the car, and then Carrie tries to get him out, and then back in the house. But yeah, so he's listening to what Haley said and doesn't open the door.
Yeah, good. And then she's like, open up, and he says, Mama said you're a bad person, and she's like, that's not true. And then he says, I want my mama. She goes, I am. And it's like, oh my God, stop it with this. You're his mother. You're not.
Yeah. I like how he was like yelling back at her too. Like he wasn't scared of her. Exactly. Not too much, at least.
Well,
like he wasn't afraid to go.
And he wasn't listening to her. Like, remember before when he would, when she would confuse him by saying, no, like, basically, it's all your mommy's fault. Like, at least now he's like, no, you're the evil, crazy one. And I'm not going to listen to you anymore.
Yeah. And if she didn't scare him then, she's going to scare him now by grabbing the axe to break open the window.
Yeah, that could have hurt him. Think if he was still, think if he was still in that seat and she had done that, glass would have broke. She might have hit him with the axe. I mean, a whole lot of bad things could happen.
Because she used the blade end to break open the window, not even the handle part, which would have been enough. But yeah, that was weird.
Yep. And then I think that was your car. Also, you know what I thought too? Last episode when Haley was driving, or the episode where Haley was driving to the beach house, it was a different car than the one they always drive, which is this one. Because they always drive the Range Rover. But last episode she had a different car.
Right.
But now she has the Range Rover.
Maybe they bought a new car. We didn't see it. Like maybe that's Nathan's car. Well, no, he would have it. I don't know.
Nathan always drives the Range Rover.
Then I don't know. Maybe that's Haley's new car. I don't know.
So I was confused at this one, but now she has a Range Rover. I was like, was it in shock?
Right.
It was like, I was like confused at that, but okay. Also, oh my God, you know how expensive that would be to ruin a Range Rover?
Right.
Oh, like I didn't know they had that kind of money on the show. Because next episode it's going to be all pretty again. But I love it though, because like Jamie was smart enough to go out the other side and run.
Right.
But also it's pretty sad that that's what he had to do.
Yeah.
Who do you thought taught him how to like go into action and save your life? Because I feel like most kids probably wouldn't know how to do that.
Right. I don't know. Maybe after he was kidnapped by Carrie, Nathan taught him something, or I don't know. Maybe even signed him up for like little. No, he might be too young. I was say self-defense classes, but yeah, something. They did something to protect. Teach him to protect himself.
Yeah, because I feel like other kids would be like in shock and terror, as they should be, and they wouldn't know what to do. Like, what do I do? Like my mom or dad aren't with me to tell me what to do. I mean, the fact that he just knew run is like, whoa.
Yeah, because I know a lot of parents teach their kids to like scream and or run. Yeah, so that's probably what they did with him too.
Well, especially maybe when she took him the first time, it was like, okay, just so this never happens again.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, teaching him, helping him, protecting himself. And then back inside the house now, Dan tries to get Haley up, but she doesn't. That's when we see that. That's when he sees that Carrie left the gun right down the table. That was stupid of her.
She really wanted to get her baby, don't you know?
Yeah, but I'm just saying because like Haley could have woke up and grabbed it too. But Jamie's still running from Carrie now in the cornfield, and she's trying to be all sweet now. Trying to act like all nice, but she has a syringe, with the same sedative that she used on Dan. And she's even like calling him nicknames, Jimmy Jam, and like she won't be mad anymore, she promises. And she has something special for him. And then she ends up passing him because he's lying flat on the ground right there. Do you think that was realistic?
What? Him being on the ground?
No, her passing him because he was right, like she walked right by him.
Well, yeah, because she is not looking at her feet. She's looking ahead. And maybe
I'm just saying. And then he's short too, so she wouldn't even be looking that high up. But
that's what I don't think she was looking at the ground when she was looking. She was maybe looking just above, like I don't know. So I feel like it could have been realistic.
Like if she was like a distance away, she could have saw him maybe on the ground, but because the corn maze isn't that thick, so yeah.
I thought she was moving too fast though too, so for her to even really be seen. Plus, it was so high, like all the grass and stuff, like she couldn't really see that unless she heard like movement, which he wasn't. So
I didn't really see any grass in there, the corn maze exactly, but he takes off again, and that's when he's pulled in by an arm, and it's Haley. So
that was a little scary for him. He just gets pulled, and it's like, and then she's like, "It's Mama," and it's like,
Yeah, and then she was having her hand over his mouth so he wouldn't make a sound, but he was already being quiet enough. But she didn't know that. But
well, I think when she grabbed him, he might have screamed. So that's
yeah, I know, but she like kept her hand there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then her phone goes off because then Nathan hears the voicemail, and then he calls, and then she tells him to run.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you notice it only like rang like twice or something and then it was out? Like she didn't like hit a button on the phone to like shut it off or turn the volume off. It was just a stopped, which is weird because if Nathan's calling, he's gonna call until her voicemail. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, I think she just patted her pant pocket and that was it. But maybe they wanted that part to be like she turned it off or something, but it looked like she didn't have enough time. She just knew they had to get out of there. So
it wasn't like run, Jamie, and then she turns it off or anything.
Yeah, because now I think about it too. Haley could have actually used that as a distraction, like tell Jamie to take off and she stays right there, kind of
to go get her.
Yeah, well, like a decoy. So like Carrie's now distracted that Haley's there and she forgets about Jamie for a second, so he has like a head start to run,
Well, yeah, and she could have tripped her and
yeah, so I just thought about that, but they both start running.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and then they're gonna run the house too. Do you think that would have been like a safe place to be? Because I with that being Carrie's house, she probably would have had ways to get in without them knowing or something, maybe.
Yeah, I just think your whole mission is, I don't know, just to run. I think they were just running.
Yeah, I just wonder if the house would have been safe for them, but they don't get there because when they pass the car in the driveway right there, and Carrie's right behind them, that's when Carrie pops out.
I thought that was a little.
Yeah,
I thought that was a little strange. Like she's like right behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, like maybe I guess she already checked the house, saw that Dan was probably still passed out on the floor, and just didn't acknowledge that. And then just stay outside, like looking around, and maybe she heard like the yelling from the cornfield.
Well, no, I think she saw Haley's car with the windows smashed in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe she heard the yelling in the cornfield, but didn't go over there to try to find them. She was just waiting right there with the bottle, I guess.
I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And she whacks her with it. It was so good. And then she's like, "You guys okay?" and everything. And I love that when she goes. She goes, "I guess there's more than one crazy nanny in this town, bitch." I loved it. It was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then they were talking, and then about the wine and everything. And then that's when she gets up with the dang axe, ready to hit both of them. And that's when Dan shoots her. Like he finally got up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good, the whole thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was watching a horror movie though.
Yeah, because Deb had said that Dan, hated the woods, and he says that too at the end, that he always hated the woods. So that was funny. But she was right that wouldn't be the place he would be off, go off to die. And then Lucas gets home or is about to leave and is looking at his book in the cab. And inside, Lindsay had wrote, "I'm proud of you. I love you. I'll miss you." So.
Oh, which is a little weird. Like if you're the wife, you know what I mean? Like, and that's from your ex.
Yeah.
Like, "I miss you. I like." It was just weird. Okay.
Yeah. And then Brooke had fallen asleep at a dinner when the waitress wakes her up at a restaurant and asking if she's okay. Brooke says, she's fine, and asks for the check, and that's when the waitress says that's been taken care of, and she points at Sam. So Brooke joins her.
Yeah, she says, "You don't have to do that." And she's like, "Well, I figured it's your money anyway." And Brooke's like, "Yeah."
Or Victoria's money now. And
well, no, but it was Brooke's money.
Yeah, I guess she put
no. She's saying that like when she stole it and everything, it was Brooke's money. Like that's
okay. And then Sam says she has to go because she has a curfew. Her mom's gonna be worried. So Brooke, tells her it's not a bad thing to have a mom that worries about her.
Yeah, and she says and walks away.
And then Payne is still waiting for Mick to show up, but then gives up and blows out the candle. And it turns out he's at the bar drinking instead. And that's when the bartender sees his 1 year sober chip, but Mick just tells him to pour him another shot or glass.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Mhm.
Like if going to see your if going to meet your daughter is going to lead you to drink, maybe it's not the best thing to do,
Mhm.
especially when
Well,
she didn't ask for it.
yeah. And then we see Sam laying down in the trunk of the car in the auto shop area at the school. Meanwhile, Brooke is sitting alone in her empty store when Millie walks in, saying she heard that there is a great startup company and, they're looking for employees.
I thought it was
And
funny when she said that Victoria called her to fire her, but she goes, I guess she didn't know that you already did that.
yeah,
It was funny.
right. So she wants to work with Brooke again. And, Brooke says that it's not going to be a good job. But Millie said it sounds perfect anyways. And they're just happy to be working together again. Yeah, so she never explained why she just showed up like that, like after being in Omaha with Mouse for his job.
Well, I think it was Victoria calling her and firing her. And then she realized, like, wait a minute, Victoria
Yeah,
is
Brooke's in
the
trouble.
owner.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's the owner now. So there's something going on. So I think that's what it was.
Okay, yeah.
And Victoria probably went on and on probably a little bit. And then, like, this is my company. I'm firing you. And she's like, So maybe that's what it was too. Maybe because she knows Millie would like go back at her, like it's Brooke's company. So maybe Victoria said, like, I have ownership of it now and stuff, where she's like, oh, this isn't good.
Right. And then, yeah, so apparently nobody called the cops about Carrie because it's dark now and she wakes up.
Well, Dan said he finally called the cops.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, it seemed like it was hours still. So
Well,
now he just
it's
called them.
it's the woods.
Yeah, I
Maybe
guess.
they had bad reception, so he had to call a couple times.
Or maybe it's just a long distance from, where the police are.
Yeah. And so maybe there's like one in town.
Mm-hmm.
And so she gets up though, like, oh my God, like even after getting shot
Mm-hmm.
and hit with the bot, like she's still oh my gosh, she just can't go. And so that's when he shoots her again.
Yeah, she was acting like she was immortal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, so he finally shoots her dead after a second time.
Yeah, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the high, I think the high was the whole horror of this episode of Haley, Jamie running from Carrie and all that. I thought it was good entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It was sad that Jamie had to go through this all over again, but like, yeah, I thought it was good entertainment because I think the episode needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And the low, like I said, the whole Haley, the whole Peyton with whatever his name is.
Mick.
Yeah. I didn't really, again, I just didn't really need it. Like it could have all been solved last episode.
Mm-hmm.
As it kind of was. She was already hinting last episode. All he had to say was slip it up last episode again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really need more of it. Also, I liked Lucas and Peyton all cute in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those were my high and lows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine was Jamie having to go through that as the lowest, and then the high would be for a second at least Payne being happy about getting married and having something good in her life for once. So yeah. And then rating?
I would rate this 8.5. I thought it was good.
Yeah, so like a 9.
Ooh.
Because it's like the most maybe action-packed episode maybe in the whole series. Yeah.
And then who was your best and worst?
Well, the worst was Carrie for obvious reasons, and the best was Deb because she was the one that saved Jamie and Haley initially, before Dan shot her. But yeah, because she was almost caught up to them too by the time that happened. So it was good timing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the best was Deb because, like, I know Dan ultimately killed her, but like before that, she would have definitely gotten to Haley, and then took Jamie and probably ran off with him.
Yeah.
Because Dan really can't walk. I mean, we've seen him stumble.
Yeah.
And Haley being knocked out, no one's running to go save him, so she'd have a head start. So, and it's the woods, so who knows what she would have done. So, I think that, Deb first saving them was definitely my favorite part. And, I think the topping was just Dan shooting her.
Right.
But yeah, I do think that Deb saving them was my favorite part, and she's definitely the best for that. And then the worst, yeah, I mean Carrie, who's going to be the worst in this one?
Besides for Nick, yeah. Or
Yeah.
Victoria even.
Yeah, but Victoria wasn't in the episode.
I know, but she was causing Brooke a lot of trouble still.
Yeah, but she wasn't in the episode. So but yeah, her just trying to hurt, like truly kill people. Yeah, that's the worst person.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 6, Choosing My Own Way of Life.
So does this mean Carrie is finally gone?
Yep.
Oh my god. So I will say, like, a fun fact. The actress who played Carrie and the actor who played, I don't know, that business coach guy, or Nathan. They both played husband and wife on Army Wives after One Tree Hill. So I thought it was cute that they were both in the episode. And I mean, obviously they probably didn't work together, but the fact that they go on to play husband and wife, I was like, oh look, he's with the crazy one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a fun fact. All right, thanks for listening.
Yep, I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.